Are we recording? Yeah.
I'm just rolling now. Yeah. Okay.
My name is Mathew Mackenzie, and I was homeless down in Oshawa here for 5 years, and recovering addict as well. I'm not embarrassed to talk about being an addict at all. I've been on methadone for 10 years or more. It's hard to get off of the drugs, really hard. I've been trying to get off. I've never done heroin before. It's always just fentanyl, and the car fentanyl almost killed me. I was paralyzed for 3 days at one point, and no one even cared. No one cared. Not even my family, because I guess they were embarrassed and about the drugs and the scene, and the fact that I've been to the hospital, the Lakeridge Hospital, over 30 times for just an overdose. I first started doing drugs 5 years ago. I was selling fentanyl, and my wife and I, she didn't know because I was doing it behind her back. She thought we were selling coke and stuff, and I started using needles because I'm diabetic. And my friend came over one time and asked for a needle, and I tried it and I liked it, and that's how I started. And I moved out. I went to the motel, sold the rest of my bag, and I missed my methadone appointment, and so I dabbled into the fentanyl. Well, there was car fentanyl, and here I am now, 5 years later, 60 pounds under my weight. I low testosterone, all the bad stuff, right? And what else did you want to know? I grew up just outside Oshawa in Hampton, in Burton, and I rode dirt bikes since I was 4. And I know, so my dad's a biker, right? So I know too much at a young age, and it wasn't good. I graduated high school at 16. And the only way I did that is because I was in jail, right? And I just did it. I had nothing else to do. To be an addict down in Oshawa is really hard. If backdoor mission wasn't here, I would be lost. And
Tell me about the mission.
the backdoor?
Yeah, and like what it provides for people who don't know what this place is.
Okay. The backdoor mission provides everything you need. It has it's like a mini hospital. They have doctors. They have lawyers probably, right? They serve food. They also give out clothing. They give out they give out groceries as well. And every single day you get a meal, no matter what. And that helps out so much. If they didn't have, what's the name, Lorraine?
Carla.
No, the boss here.
Oh, Joan?
No,
Or,
Lorraine.
Leanne.
Leanne is great. She, I used to do dope in the bathroom, and I felt so bad. She came and talked to me, and she prayed for me, and I think it worked because I wouldn't do drugs in the bathroom in a church ever again, especially. I wasn't religious. I'm still not religious, but there's something positive happening. And Leanne, she just showed me the way, and just keep trying, and it'll work, right? Practice makes perfect. So I got a Bible, and I read the back of the Bible, or Revelations, and then you know, because I like to see what's coming up next, right?
A couple questions for you.
Okay.
What are you great at?
I'm very good at building bikes, motorcycles. I'm really good at doing wiring, like very good. Um, I know how to weld, and also I know framing. Build houses. I built a house when I was young, when I got out of juvie, and that's a big story. Juvie, I did 4 years,
What
but
about that?
um, well, if you ever seen that movie American History X when you curb someone, well, we did that. Me and my friend. I'm gonna say his name. His name's Ron Barker. He passed away. He 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 was assaulted and called in spray pen, but he pled guilty to the charges of the murder charge. Um, but he didn't have to, and I had. So he took the murder charge. He got 15 years, and I had the gun, so it was I got 10 years. But that was back when you do time, it wasn't 1 for 1, it was 2 for 1. So I did 4 years in Brookside. I got out when I was 23, because I got a couple charges when I was in there, right? 16 till I was 23. 16, 7 years. And that was straight time, and it was really hard to come out of jail. But when I did, the backdoor mission helped me really, really, like, it wasn't even a backdoor mission at that time. It was backdoor mission, but they didn't do the doctors and stuff. They just served food.
What do you know for sure? Whatever it is.
Whew. For sure, I know for sure that, well, the end is near. Right? Like, life is very, very short. And if I could go back 5 years and change what I did and not self, I don't know, that for sure I would still have my family, right? But I know for sure that the fentanyl is a killer, and it's killing everybody, and even the strong ones that don't talk to themselves, or don't do weird things, or have a psychosis, it's gonna get them too. It's just a matter of time, and time is short. I have an apartment now, a 1 bedroom. I turned down everything for 5 years, and I got on ODSP this year. And backdoor mission that helped me get an ODSP, and I was accepted in like 11 days. It was awesome. I wanted to get my family. I haven't talked to my kids or anything, and it hurts. Last time I seen my oldest son, he called me a junkie and told me to fuck off. And he was only, I think, 12, 13 at that time, right?
So how did that hit?
I cried. And I'm overwhelmed even talking about it now. I don't know, brother. But to end everything, to make me happy, is just to have my family back and move out into the country, because the city life is just it's not good anymore. It's dangerous, and people get stray bullets and everything for no reason. All my friends, good friends, are dead. And they died because they were rinsed. And they just, people just turn their head and let the person overdose and take their money, take everything they own. And it's sad. Sad. My best friend, he overdosed in the old fittings plant in the field, the GM Center, behind the GM Center, and people were camping out there, and everyone just turned their head because he had a lot of money. He just got out of jail, and he overdosed because you know, he's happy to be out, right? And he just did it too close together, and everyone that was with him turned their heads and let him die. But before he died, they took everything out of his pockets. So it was a murder, right? And I grew up with a lot of men in my life and a lot of drugs, and growing weed. Since I was like 4 years old. So I wish I didn't know that. I wish I grew up somewhere else with, you know, with a work ethic. With an ethic to work instead of selling dope. Because selling dope leads to doing dope, and doing dope leads to dying. And it's scary. Doing fentanyl and shooting up fentanyl, it's like playing Russian roulette. It's very, very addicting. And I sometimes I do too much just to see if I can do that much, right? And it's not good.
Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Like, what's your dream life?
My dream life is to live out in the country with my wife and my kids. Teach my kids how to dirt bike because that's, you know, it's really fun. And I broke my collarbone 5 times. I got 11 screws in my collarbone holding it together now. But that's my dream life, out in the country. I wouldn't mind.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie and I'm a nurse practitioner here at Mission United.
My name is Leanne. I'm the housing lead here at the Backdoor Mission.
My name's Kelly. I'm the social worker on the Primary Care Outreach Program.
I'm Joan and I'm the lead program coordinator.
My name is Daniel. I'm a peer outreach worker with Backdoor Mission. What do I remember about Matt?
Matt, oh my gosh. I've knew Matt for probably about 5 years.
The PCOP team has worked with Matt really since we were working with him from the start of PCOP in July 2018.
I remember the first time I met Matt, probably about 5 years ago when he first started coming to the Backdoor Mission. And I remember sitting on the steps of the mission and Matt was crying and telling me his story.
I met Mathew a couple years ago and worked quite extensively with him. We had many good moments and some not so great moments, very difficult, challenging situations, but Mathew always had a great sense of humor. He was very respectful.
Had lots of great experiences with him, with his humor. He could always make us laugh. He was always respectful.
Matt was actually the sweetest and most genuine person you could meet. He went through a lot. He had a lot of hardships, but he was always just so real and honest about them. And he didn't ever pretend he was somebody he wasn't, and we loved him for that.
When I first met him, him and I were going on a walk. I had a great conversation with him, and he was joking and laughing and being himself, all right? And he always cared about others.
He just had a lot of caring for a lot of people around him, was always appreciative of any support.
But throughout all that time, he still maintained that sweet, kind Matt. He was always kind, no matter what trouble he found himself in. He was just that sweetness and that kindness and that mischievousness in him.
You want me to share my favorite memory? Okay, so my favorite memory of Matt is when he was overdosing, which a lot of my memories of Matt are when he was overdosing. He was fetal position, face down in the mud, and I just hauled him over and yelled his name, and he looked at me like no big deal. He just smiled and was like, oh, hey. And yeah, it's my favorite memory of Matt because it was just so who he was, just very, life is life and you just accept it the way it is.
His own family, he spoke a lot about his family. We got a chance and an opportunity to meet his family members. Just to see him surrounded by all that love, he was an amazing character.
So he was a sweet, kind person and just was not able to overcome the challenges that, that took him.
After his death, this is a story that I think is important. After he passed, it came to my attention that members of the community that didn't have a chance to grieve were given a chance to grieve by a friend of mine who gave them a chance to share how they felt about Mathew. And there were several people in the community that night before they went to bed stood up and talked about how Mathew cared for them and how Mathew looked out for them and how Mathew was their friend. And so Mathew had a good reputation as a member of the community. I liked him a lot.
Even through it all, no matter what condition he was in, he never lost his sense of humor and the twinkle in his eye, and he was great to work with, and he is missed.
He had many, many friends around town, and we miss him very much.
I really miss that guy.